Bull. One bull cow, two bull cow, three bull cow, four. Good morning. Hope you're all well. So, another walk. We're not just up there from the road where we finished last time. So, at the minute, we're just starting at the National Stone Centre. I'll just turn it around and I'll show you where we are currently here. So, I've been saying I'll do a bit of a walk around for these for ages because it is a charity, but I'll put some more information up and I'll do a bit of voiceover. So, walking up this way, we'll see if we can get around here somewhere. And then it's basically onto the high peaks. I'll do a bit of info on Middleton Top, which is up the hill this way. And then it's round and over past Black Rocks and down. But yeah, let's have a look at today's route.
We start off at the National Stone Centre with a quick walk around. We then toddle up to Middleton Top and the winding house. It is then back down on the high peak trail and heading towards Black Rocks down a very steep and slippery path. Then we trundle down another steep descent before we come off the trail and through the woodlands. It is then a gentle trundle down Intake Lane heading towards the back road and the woodlands. This is where things go tits up and the entrance to the woodland is closed off from this point. I will put up factoids in the description below of Alderwossley and Shining Cliff Woods. It is worth reading and if you wish more information on these woodlands as there is quite a bit of history to them. And there you go, the route finishes in Ambergate.
Well, that route, I was going to do it the other way around, but unfortunately the ground is slippy as hell at the minute and the buses are still all over due to the roadworks in Derby. So I've just got off at, I think it's New Road in Works, just past Wirksworth. So today is literally just all downhill. I didn't bring the gimp sticks with me, but we'll see. And we are going to Shining Cliff Wood, which I've not been to for years, and it's gained a lot of popularity. But there will be, I'm going to do a lot more voiceover and a lot more info. So yeah, been claggy starts the morning, but it all seems to have lifted and it'll be a decent morning, I think. Right, here we go. One of the many quarries in Derbyshire disused, and apparently there's another one over this way, and I have no idea what that is. That helps. There is also the visitors centre. I'll put a link up underneath anyway, but there is a cafe in a visitors centre there with more information as well. Loads of little hidden spots like this around this place. Like I say, it has been a while since I've been here, but worth visiting. I'll pause it to read. This, I think, was permanently built just to show the stonework that's going, because it's a very, very rare skill these days. Let's have a look. I think there's some decent wages to be made in it if you can do it these days. Moulding the phone like this, it's because the selfie stick is decided to, the thread on it is just lots older than an old man's. Anyway, yeah, I'll stop there. But I'm hopefully next week getting a 3-axis DJI one, a proper one, so it should be a lot better video quality. Next month will be the drone and the new tent, because I'm getting other bits this month. So yeah, anyway, it's World Mental Health Day, should I say, and we'll talk about that in a bit later. And if you don't know, I'll tell you a bit about my background and how I get to know a lot about mental health. But yeah, we'll carry on for now. How's that for a view? Definitely gonna have to get a photo of that. Anyway, just come out of nowhere. So I've noticed all these different ones are the different types of stone and the way they're making them. So when you're walking around, it will tell you the different one, like this from Scottish Highlands area, and it can tell you the different types of wall and what stone was used and all that. I've never even noticed that. It's quite interesting actually. I've been reading up on it. If I can find anything else out about it, I will do. Anyway, that way. Some sort of sculpture there. Right. Apart from the alien structure. we'll see what's over this way. There you go, pause it to read that. Like foghorn, doesn't it? Somebody stuck in there. Annoyed somebody, obviously. So, yeah, Middleton. Like I said, I've been there before. It's just today, it's just too slippy on that path. Hope that information helps, and like I say, if I find anything out, link it below as usual. But I will try and get there when the engines are working, try and find out. I don't know if it costs anything or not, but we'll soon find out when it does. But yeah, we are now carrying on the High Peak Trail and towards Black Rocks, and then I'll put information and whatever up then as well. Well, not information, but you know, photos or whatever if I can find it. Because again, that's going to be slippy as hell. These boots have got grip, but not that much. That's why I need to get some trail runners with very good grip. Makes sense, doesn't it? Anyway, it's just literally flat and then all downhill. Free advertising. Two trains. There you go, you can pause that now. I've even noticed this here. After the Great War of 1914 to 18, more than 120,000 headstones were carried on this line, destined for the Imperial War Grave cemeteries. We'll remember them. Always. Oh, Babu. White Babu. As well as all the colours on the trees. Crossing over Main Road now, because that's where the 6 goes down to Cromford, and that is the bus I got today, and it was on time. But you can see all the colours coming out now, and this is by the main road, so you can imagine if when we get into Shining Cliff Woods, it is going to be amazing, baby. Can't remember if they were just toilets or if there's a cafe here at some point. But it's nice in the summer, but it does get very busy because everybody decides to climb up on Black Rock. Look at that for colours. Really settling in there. Absolutely stunning. Anyway, time to get a couple of photos. So, you can't really see it because it's a separate path, but Black Rocks is just up there. You can just see the edge of it now. Not this. No, Black Rocks is a lot bigger. So I'll put a photo up now, and yeah, we'll crack on. Here we are, starting to open up now. As soon as we get round further around the corner this way, you'll see the view that I like and why a lot of people come up. Anybody answer me this? It's a Friday, it's on 9 o'clock in the morning, and most people will be at work. And I've seen more people walking about here than I have at any other time. See, there's another two behind me coming up now. Any other time than I've been out during the week. Does anybody actually work around here? Or is it that posh they don't need jobs? If you can answer, I'm intrigued. Anyway, it's carry. Oh, I don't know which one it is. One of these stone cottages down here, one of the Derbyshire stone cottages. Probably at least 100 years old, but I can smell wood smoke coming from one of them, from like a wood burner or something, and it smells absolutely beautiful. Like a dream for me, that is. Anyway, it is a dream, unfortunately. Never mind, back to reality. We'll crack on that way. Oh look, a bench with no view. Now this is what I meant when I say the view. It's worth it. Right, let's turn the camera. Boom. How's that? So we've got Cromford down there. We've got, I can't remember what it's called now, Summit Castle there. And then we've got Matlock Bath down this way with even a little bit of low-lying cloud still there. But then that is Matlock itself. And we're just out of view of Ryber Castle to the other side of that hill. But we're coming this way and then starting to drop down before we come off. So, right, let's crack on. Here is the old winding house or engine house. Right, so I can read for you. Built in 1828, wagons were hauled up and down the incline, 1,320 yards along by an engine in this building. Cromford and High Peak Railway closed in 1967. It's a shame, really, but it's well worth a look in. And it's also a good rain shelter. Well, I say that. Cromford and High Peak Railway Company, incorporated 1825. Anyway, crack on. So, 1 in 8, so it is a very steep incline, decline, whatever you want to call it. So we'll get so far down, there's a bridge that comes from another path across, we'll join on it, and then we'll go up and across Intake Lane. So let's get going down without slipping on my back. So I thought it was somebody drunk swaying up and down on the path. It wasn't, it was a cyclist, and it's slightly out of breath. So I'm glad I'm going downhill for once. So, apart from all the awesome colours behind me, which is looking, camera doesn't do it justice, but which is looking beautiful, we are now. So, that sign, coming off that way. Let's go. Deep into the woods. There's another path you can come from, I think it's Cromford itself, from the side road, up through there, joins on here, and you can also get up this way. Up there is Cromford Moor, which is a really nice place to walk upon, especially, and there's a drink point at the top, just under 1,000 foot. And excuse me, it is worth going up to in summer, because winter's a bit treacherous. Anyway, let's keep on. Right, so the way I was going to go, coming off Intake Lane, then through some fields into Alderwalsley, I think it's called. I'll put some information up anyway. Well, I'll put it up, or I'll put it in the description below. I've not decided yet, but I've just realised I remember the field. There's about 2 or 3 bulls in there virtually all year round, apart from obviously winter. So this time of year they'll be out, and I'm not getting chased out of field. So we'll take a slight detour down the side road that will come on the A6 for, I don't know, about 2 or 3 minutes. Then we'll come back up onto a place called Haytop, which is the start of Summercliff Woods. So yeah, we'll crack on. And there, if I can remember rightly, there's no derelict house there, but I don't know if it's been done up or not. But we'll have a look, because if you Google it, it looks rather spooky. And yeah, we'll crack on up this absolutely beautiful path. Now I think this is Birchwood you're going into. So there is a path that comes onto the road where we are. But I like taking Intake Lane because you get a bit more view. So it comes up this way, suddenly turns left, and straight down here. And there's a path up there, but OS Maps doesn't show anything. But I wouldn't anyway, because look, bull cow, 1 bull cow, 2 bull cow, 3 bull cow, 4, and that lot. I'll be back in a minute. Just going to eat the pork pie, which I've had in the fridge for the past 2 weeks. But anyway, I'll eat that and I'll catch up with you in a second. Anyway, that's better. Pork pie. Food of the Legionnaires. Well, not Legionnaires, sounds like Legionnaire's disease, doesn't it? Food of the masses, food of the hikers. So yeah, we are now heading along Intake Lane. See, I'm pointing straight this way instead of going that way. Down here, then it's, because we're having to take a detour from the original route, we'll turn left down this back lane onto the A6 about 2 minutes and back up, and then into Shining Cliff Woods. Not Summercliff Woods, like I said earlier on. Anyway, let's get cracking on. Thinking of food now, I think I might go down to East Mid Designer Outlet next week. Haribo shop and his regatta, but we'll see. Because if I do go to Haribo shop, I'll spend a fortune. Anyway, bang goes the diet. If I could be bothered and add more energy on me, but I'm not, still trying to get my energy levels up at the minute. I can see Crich. So, there's Crich Village. And there is a memorial tower in front of the quarry. So, like I say, decent views. But we're going down. Right, so, as I said earlier on, catch up about mental health. So today, as I film this, and the camera's a bit shaky because this front camera's got no stabilisation. Anyway, as I film this today, it's World Mental Health Day. There are still millions of people that just stigmatise it and just think, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. And unfortunately, there are a lot, and I mean a lot of scumbags that will use this as an excuse to get out of crimes. Serious crimes, like rape and unaliving, shall we say. and it's wrong, because those people that genuinely need help are sometimes dismissed, and a lot by the friends and family, because they're not used to it. I'll just swap this over because my arm's hurting. So if you don't know, or if you're new to the channel, I suffer with severe anxiety myself, hence why I've been signed off by the doctor, and I'm not allowed to go back to work until I am told to, by various people. Anyway, so in 2017, after leaving the bar trade a few years earlier, I was in and out on temp work, basically. You know, they were good jobs and I've got a lot of experience, but it got to the point where I had to sign on, and I hate signing on. It's nothing against anybody that needs to. You know, if you need to, the help say it's what it's for. Not by this government, but we won't go into politics. And all right, I liked to beer before, because I was brought up and, you know, on pub trade and whatever else, and hospitality. But I started going heavy, and I mean very heavy. And then one day, it was 50 paracetamol, so many Nurofen, and I made like a twat. I don't know if it was a cry for help and what, but like a spanner, I not just left a note, but I messaged my mum, just saying, you know, goodbye, I can't take it, or whatever it was. I try not to remember it. So there's me trying to finish myself off, and I'm letting everybody know. Not the cleverest move, but it was in a way. She comes screaming, because she normally drives like Miss Daisy, but she comes screaming across the other side of Nottingham, and I'm really hurting. And burst the door open. Obviously, she wasn't too happy and whatever. I got into the back of the ambulance, and the paramedic said, you'd rather have a bullet in your head than suffer with 2 to 3 weeks in just pure so much agony you won't be able to cope. So anyway, went to Queen's, because I couldn't sleep properly. The nurses thought I was watching him, so my eyes are half asleep, like half closed. Had psychiatrists come down and said, no, there's nothing wrong with him. He's a lovely lad. He's just having a bad time. They sent me home at 2 o'clock in the morning. I lived in Radford at the time, so it was like a 25-minute walk away. It's not nice walking through there at that time of morning anyway, but I just got straight home, whatever, slept on the sofa, woke up watching TV, and the next day I had the ward manager, ward nurse, or whatever it is called, basically the matron of A&E at Queen's, and she says, that Marvin, yeah, you know, you're all right, yeah, says you need to get in now. And I always, these words are sticking into my head to the end of this day. You're dying. There's no other way to say it. You need to get in. You are dying. So I just didn't think anything of it. And yeah, sorry. And so I got the bus down, and I just sat there, and all of a sudden I asked for one of those grey papery card sick things, buckets, and I went through at least 15, if not more. And I know I'm going into detail here, but might as well explain it how it is. There was claret blood in lumps coming out because my kidneys were giving up quicker than they actually thought. So anyway, I was rushed over to City, went on the, I can't remember the name of it, Bramley ward, but I was on drips and everything for God knows how long. I can't remember how long I was in hospital, weeks, months, whatever it was now. And then I went on to the recovery ward in the Carroll ward. So when I got out, you know, did Snowdon charity and everything else. And over the years, it's been up and down. Then just under 2 years, I think it was about 2 years ago now, I almost had a complete breakdown. I was messaging my parents saying I just wish somebody to come in and me in the neck, or and no parent should have to hear that from the youngest. I know I'm 43, but I am the youngest. And so it was killing me inside, and it was killing them too inside. I know it was. And so as it came to it, I started hearing voices and everything. Went to the doctors. Parents came with me, obviously. I sat in with the doctor, and he just said, thinks you might have schizophrenia. It's like, oh, great, something else to add on. Anyway, went for tests and everything. He says, no, he's fine. So they sent me over to the at-risk mental health team in Derbyshire, and it was them that saved my life. I went down for Alex, I think it was, and then I had Sophie and Kate as mental health nurses, but Alex, their boss, assessed me, and he just says, no, he's fine, but he's just going for a really time. He says that he needs help. So I went through a year's intense CBT, because usually it's only a few weeks or a few months, if that. Luckily enough, I'd learned a lot of CBT myself, so I knew how to control it. And people put down CBT, it's an absolute gold saver, it really is. So anyway, I've been up and down since then, but I've come off the pop, shall we say. The most I have now is Guinness or Heineken Zero. If I do, I'll probably have a pint at birthday or Christmas summit, if that. Not really bothered. And over the past couple of months, I've been getting better and better. So to anybody that is suffering, don't hide it. For God's sake, don't hide it. Because you're thinking, I want to keep going, but I can't because of this, because of that. No, I know it sounds cruel, but get off your backside, get help. If you ever need to talk, inbox me on my Instagram. I'll put that below. Not after a follow or anything crap like that. This is mental health. It matters a lot more than just social media. And it can be worse. Believe you me, it can. A friend of mine that is basically passing away as we speak, he's only got until early next year, has already tried himself. And this before he found out he had the illness. So I've first-hand experience of experiencing it with other people, as well as myself. And thanks to Kate, who looks after North Derbyshire on the NHS risk team, she put me in touch with all the right people. She come round to my parents' house, explained what it's like to my dad, because obviously, because he's old school, he didn't know. She explained, well, people see things here, and every now and then, with somebody with severe anxiety, it's up and down all the time. And something clicked in my dad. And both my parents are amazing. There's no other way of saying it. Always there to talk to. You know, I know I've got my sister, we don't talk that much, but she's always there. So you'll be surprised how much help there is out there. So never, 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 never put it down. Never stop thinking it's not worth it, because it is. I mean, for crying out loud, after 2017, I started doing local walks. Then I started getting back out into the Peak District, because I've taken here as a kid all the time, mum and dad, and started getting out. Then I started using the phone camera and getting recognised for my photography and everything else. And then since then, I've become a nationally recognised landscape photographer, known for the Peak District, get called Human Google Maps now, and basically for Derbyshire mostly. But I can remember now, in my brain, I forget plans. So I always put it on my calendar or on my phone, but I always remember routes because it's place, this county, and doing the photography, that has helped save my life. So find something like that to do. You'll be surprised at how, you'll be very surprised at how much photography relaxes you and how much it can help. So there is always something out there, even if it's just playing football, you know, or kicking the crap out of a punch bag, you know, doing kickboxing, whatever. I mean, there's a guy, Billy Moore, you know, very well-known YouTuber. He went in prison, he was on drugs, and he was a crackhead, basically. There's no other way of saying it. He'll admit it, you know, and he's 54, but he's been off for, I think it's 7 years now, clean. No alcohol, definitely no drugs, obviously. He's built like a brick house, but you see his shorts, he's boxing, he's still fast as a 20-year-old. I wouldn't start on him, but he's also a very down-to-earth person because he's been there. And that's how I am, because, all right, the drug side I haven't, because it don't interest me. But with the drink side, and addiction on that, I wasn't fully dependent on it, but I was getting that way. And it's not nice. So there's always help out there. Never put yourself down because you think, oh, nobody's going to listen. People will listen. I found that out about people I never thought would. You know, like I say, a friend of mine who's passing away, I never thought he would listen because he's always been, you know, sarcastic sod, you know, he's all love him to bits. But as soon as I come out of hospital, I went in there because he messaged me to say, how are you? Because he said he didn't come into the hospital because he didn't know if I was wanted to see anybody or anything because he didn't know the state. As soon as I walked in, he just opened his arms and just says, come here. You know, man hug kind of thing. And it surprised me. So never underestimate yourself, never put yourself down, and never think there's no help out there, because there always is. And I'm getting tears in my eyes now. So just, yeah, I'll put some numbers like Samaritans and whatever else downstairs, down in the description, sorry. Well, it is downstairs, it's down there, isn't it? Close enough. So if there is anything you're not sure of and you're viewing this, then help's here. But yeah, we'll carry on with the walk and I'll try and cheer myself up again. So I'll catch up with you in a minute. So what we're going to do, road's just here, leads down, drops down. It can be busy, but usually it's pretty quiet. So I'll drop down there and then I'll catch up with you when I come back off the A6 and then we'll get back on the proper route. So I'll see you shortly. Well, that was a stump in the works. So I know S-Map, it said there's access, then it's saying private property and it's saying it's temporarily closed. So it'll be a huge detour to go all the way to get into the woods, because the woods right over that way. To walk on the main road is another hour or so just on main road. So I will leave it there, unfortunately. So we'll come back to Shining Woods. In fact, we'll make it a part 2. How's that? Make it a part 2 next week for Wednesday. You're on. Or no, not Wednesday. Probably next weekend. So yeah, that was a bit of an abrupt stop. Never mind. Been a nice walk anyway. But yeah, like I say, there you go. That happens. It's just the other way. The bulls were still in the field because I did see somebody and they did come down from that way. But I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe and all that lot. And yeah, I'll see you next week with my new posh DJI selfie thingy, with all being well. And either we'll come back to try and get in that way from Amber Gateway or High Peaks. We'll see. Anyway, see you soon. Stay safe.